All right, Shalom. All right, let me get straight into this lesson. All right, I'm going to do something kind of different in this lesson. I'm just going to go through some pictures that I had saved. You know what I'm saying? There's some of the older pictures that I had wanted to, go into to kind of do a commentary on these pictures, right? So, and some of them got words to them. So we'll get to these pictures. So what you're looking at, this first picture is the KKK, right? And you see some very striking in this picture, right? It says so-called Jesus saves, right? And this is the construct of the so-called Christian church, right? This is what it is. This is the, when you peel back the veil, this is what it is. This is the modern day Christianity that you have today that comes in these different genres, which you might be Latter-day Saints, Seventh-day Adventist, Methodist, even non-denomination, right? Baptist, uh, what else? You got Seven-day Adventist, you got Jehovah Witness, right? You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. But this is the construct of it, so-called white supremacy. And you see that name Jeeves is invoked, right? Because when you say that name Jeeves, that image, that so-called white image is attached to that name, right? But there you go right there. You know what I'm saying? This is a heavy picture right here because you Jake's in love with that J name, right? But this is what that J name brings. This is the construct of that J name in your modern day Christianity. This is like, if you can see through the veil, this is how it looks. This is what you would see, right? All right, so let's keep going. Slovakia, right? It says at the top, it said it worked like a charm. After murdering, enslaving, and raping millions of them, we brutally converted them into Christians. Told them that so-called God was white, so-called white, because there's no nationality in the Bible, ethnicity in the Bible that's called white people. It's all new speech that cause confusion because of what white mean and what black mean. White is associated with some positive. We got to keep going over the same stuff with our people. Black is associated with some negative, but yet you ignorantly keep calling yourself this, right? It says in that if they ever wanted to meet him, they had to forgive us for everything we did to them, and they did. But that's the, what I'm saying, that's the rebuttal that Jacob hit you with, you know what I'm saying? Because they've been programmed, it's been beat inside of them to say these rebuttals, right, y'all? You can't hate nobody. See, Jake, I'm gonna read this again. It says, after murdering, enslaving, and raping millions of them, it says we brutally converted them into Christians. That's why most of our people are Christians today, right? And they come with all these Christian sayings, the Christian belief, right? They don't understand what John 3:16 means. They have one of these little ninjas, right? What it means, they're gonna go back into this right here. It says that if they wanted to meet him, they had to forgive us for everything we did to them, and they did. That's the construct of the Christian church. And this is why most of our people are sick and they come with these rebuttals, right? They've been trained like a monkey to do this, right? So you jakes are sick, right? Let's go here. It says so-called white people have committed some of the worst crimes in history. Oh, they've done amazingly wickedness, but have convinced the world that so-called black people are a threat. Do you hear this? Because they'll show Jake on the 10 o'clock news, right? And Jake is a little demon, but they'll poster Jake face around the news like he's the worst thing in the world. But yet you devils, you did all this graping, right? Robbing, stealing land, right? Making people conform to Christianity, making them convert to being Christians, right? You know what I'm saying? All this evil that you've done, but yet you try to make Jake the face of evil, which our people are evil. But look at you, devils. Keep going. And the so-called white man they try to now be like the righteousness police, right? I just use that word. Now they supposed to be so righteous. Like when they see a Jake doing some folly, now the so-called white man is so offended, but yet you're not offended what your ancestors did and what you devils do, right? Check this out. It said our power has been created through manipulation of a nation's monetary system, and most of you stupid Americans don't know that the Federal Reserve is not a part of your government. It says the Federal Reserve System fitted our plan nicely since it is owned by us. But the name implies that it is a government institution. Do you hear this? From the very outset, our purpose was to confiscate all the gold and silver. That's real money, ninjas, you know? And I'm saying it to the jakes that watch these videos for entertainment. I'm not saying it to the brothers and sisters, right? Because we know they watch too, these little ninjas. It says replacing them with worthless, non-redeemable paper notes, we so-called Jews, which is the Amalekites, right? Edom, have put issue upon issue to the American people. The American people are so stupid they don't know and they don't even care about this. Then we promote both sides of the issue. That's why you got the Democrat and Republican. That's by design to keep you niggas divided, right? It says both sides of the issue as confusion reigns. With their eyes fixed on the issues, they fail to see who is behind every scene. That's why they give you the bread and circus. That's why they give you the football games, basketball games, baseball games to keep you in folly world. So you won't know what's really going on in the big grand scheme of the world. It says we Edomites toy with the American public as a cat toys with a mouse. Right? They use their media to do this, which should be CNN, MSNBC, Fox, take your pick your poison. They control it all. Right? So this is one of the things that made America so rich. That's why you see these sprawling cities, right? Because all the free labor over 400 some years, right? Free labor, right? Well, let me say the time of slavery. Let me say the time of chattel slavery, because we still in slavery. Because when you go into the word emancipated, it means transfer of property. They transfer from the private plantation owner to the state, right? Or to government, one and the same. So that's why you see the cities that you see today, like Chicago, like New York, like L.A., right? Like Miami. This was built on the free labor of you so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, right? And they reclassified a lot of so-called Native Americans and so-called black. Bet you didn't know that because we the same people. But check this out, right? All this free labor, and that's how these Edomites got all this wealth today. That's why they got the big King Ranch trucks, right? You know, the Rolls Royces, the big mansions with, sitting on 10, 15 acres, right? And they've been able to pass that stolen land on generationally. And they got free labor. They took the land from the so-called Native Americans and passed it on generationally, right? To their kids and to their kids and to their kids and to their kids. And they used that asset, right, to start businesses, to do whatever they wanted to do, right? But yet they'll say it's fair. But yet these devils will say that it's equal. Let's go here. And going back into the education system, it's a joke, right? It says the aim of the public education is not to spread enlightenment at all. It is simply to reduce as many individuals as possible to the same safe level to breed and train standardized citizenry, to put down dissent and originality, right? This is Devil Hill, John D. Rockefeller with a demon. He said, I don't want a nation of workers. He said, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. Why would he say something like this? This is the wicked that the Bible is talking about. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? You go to Malachi 1, chapter 1, verse 3 and 4, the border of wickedness, Esau, Edom. But this is how they think. This is the inner workings of these devils. So they don't want people to think outside the box. They don't want you to actually be creative. Right? That's why they got, it's just crazy, man. Check this out. It says paying for school to get a job, just to get a job to pay for school. Make this make sense. That's these, you know what I'm saying, the system, right? It says paying for school to get a job, just to get a job to pay for school. Make this make sense. It's madness. But these are the different things that you've been taught that you don't think about because Jake just go with the flow. They just go along. They just trying to survive. They're not thinking about none of this, man. Let's go to the next one. This is in the 1834 thesaurus. It says, you go to the word Negro. That's why they start doing revision so they can take out the truth of words and what the words actually mean to give you a watered down version of what words mean, right? So they can keep you in the dark, keep you into deception. But you go to 1834 thesaurus, you go to the word Negro, right? It says Negro, colored person, so-called black. Check this out. It says right here, darky. It says the image of God. I bet you didn't know that. In this 1834 thesaurus, right? So the Most High is described in the Daniel book of Daniel, chapter 7 and 9. They even got the scripture right up under it. It says Daniel 7 and 9. But I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, the Most High, Yahweh, whose garment was white as snow. And a lot of you stupid Edomite Christians say, you know, you don't know the Most High. You say he's invisible. He's this, he's that. You don't know shit. Shut the, all right? It says in the hair of his head, like the pure wool. So when you go look at the old definition of wool, it says the hair of a Negro. Bet you didn't know that either. It said his throne was as like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. The right image of so-called God, Yahweh. And when you go to the word Swarthi, right, it means dark skin, brown skin. Go to the word Swarthi. So they replaced the word Swarthi with black, right? One more. Then I think I'm going to close it out. This is why our people Christians today, I'm going to read this. It says European exploration, which that means Edomite exploration, of the New World began in the 15th century and continued into the 16th century as the emerging naval powers of Portugal, Spain, France, and England, and all these are Edomite nations today. They was once Jake nations, but Edomites overtook them. It says in the Netherlands, allowed these countries to discover. You didn't discover nothing. They knew who was over here, and they knew that we was Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Native Americans, and the so-called, the other tribes of Israel. It said it was a new discovery for them, the lands of North, Central, and South America, along with the islands of the Caribbean or the Caribbean. It said Catholic missionaries established missions in these areas with the intent of converting indigenous populations to Christianity, as well as to influence them to adopt European values, Edomite values. That's why you celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, right? Halloween, Easter. That's why you speak English. That's why you dress a certain way. You've been totally brainwashed. And then that's why most of our people are Christians, right? So I think I'm gonna call it a lesson, but yeah, that's the conversion of our people into Christianity, and it happened to all the tribes because the so-called white man wanted to assert authority over you, and the best way he can do that is through religion. Right? Hopefully, this lesson was edifying. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. Shalom.